as far as I know, of the 3 bids we've got in so far, none of them are Vale fans at the moment. I could be wrong. IPP, a lot of the director's family are Vale fans. They come in. Mo Chowdhury, as you know, he made a bid when I was administrator last time, 9 years ago. He's tried to get in since. I don't know whether he would call himself a fan, but he's certainly got a very clear interest in the club. He was here the other night for the Hereford match. But by and large, I mean, what I would say you really need here is somebody who will run the football club effectively. You almost need a strong dictator rather than a benevolent dictator, rather than the sort of democracy that was tried in Vale in 2001.
Just to carry on, to try and give you a sense of reality of how it works. When I bought Leeds, I was a fan of 40 years. The day I bought it, I took my fan's hat off. You cannot run a football club as a commercial organisation and make it survive if you think and act purely as a fan. You can love the club or not love the club. I'd rather you had a proper businessman running it properly than a fan running it from their heart.
Yes, sir. Do you want to shout? There's a mic on its way to you.
Going back to the season tickets. Are you still doing the discount for buying season tickets early, or has that been gone?
Yeah,
now?
it's the same.
How much will it be?
Right, the prices are actually on a board outside now. They're going to be by and large 5% more than last year, but the same will apply. It's less if you buy in April, it's a bit more if you buy in May, and it's the full price if you buy in June or thereafter. What we've decided to do as well is restore the cheaper tickets for what I might politely call senior citizens, as I'm not far off. So we've had to adjust the age because of the change in demographics. So anybody over 90 will be able seriously, we've decided to up the limit to 62 for men and women rather than 60. I would imagine in due course, with the change in retirement age for both to 65 and then 66, a new owner might want to gradually increase that, but we've said from 62 onwards you will get a discounted season ticket, and the prices are outside.
Well done, Bob. Good for me.
You don't look 62.
Right, have we got any more questions? Lady there.
Hi, so mine's a season ticket question. What happens if you've already purchased your season tickets in advance for future seasons?
Right, that I'm trying to get to the bottom of. I'm hoping that Cooperative Bank have opened a separate account for those monies. We are investigating that. Assuming that they have, then that will be safe, and that money will be passed to the buyer. If they haven't, then I'm afraid you're a creditor along with all the other creditors. But what we will do, of course, in those circumstances is talk to whoever buys the club to see if they would be willing to honour those. But in the first instance, we're trying to get to the bottom of the situation with Cooperative Bank, who I hope have opened a client account, which we think has probably happened, but we're not absolutely certain at this stage. And by the way, you don't qualify for the reduced one.
So is that for people who've paid by direct debit for the season tickets? See, mine's slightly different. I'm one of the box holders, and I know a number of box holders that deals for more than one season.
If it's in the client account and been separated, it's yours. If it's not, then I'm afraid it's lost, and you'll be a creditor and you'll have to pay for your box from next year again, I'm afraid.
the Gibraltar loan, do they become accredited now, or is the club still stung with that loan?
The Gibraltar loan is one of the things that we're looking at. I think what we've established so far is that the money was paid to the club, and therefore the Gibraltar Loan Company is a genuine creditor. What appears to me to have happened, and this isn't a legally binding answer, but it would appear that the security, the mortgage that was granted to that company was not validly signed by a proper resolution of the board of directors. And therefore I suspect that the Gibraltar Loan Company is not a secured creditor. They will be an unsecured creditor and rank pari passu with everybody else. To some extent, it doesn't matter because we don't think any of the bids are likely to pay off the first mortgage to the council and the second mortgage to Co-op Bank, which is a much smaller sum, in full. And only if we could do that would there be anything for the Gibraltar Loan Company anyway. So chances are they will rank pari passu, in other words, equally with everybody else, and they'll all get so many pence in the pound under the voluntary arrangement, the CVA that Gerald referred to. But we are investigating it. As a matter of practicality, they're unsecured in reality anyway.
I've got two questions. One with regards to the club's accounts. Obviously, as shareholders, we should have seen the club's accounts as the financial position as of June 2011, which we haven't yet. So, are you in a position to release them details to the shareholders of where the club was in June 2011?
We haven't, those accounts were never filed at Companies House. Now, when we do our report to creditors, we'll do a summary of the accounts, which will include a summary of the draft accounts prepared by Roger Fennell here. I would say, somebody asked me what the difference was being administrator this time to when I was administrator before, and the accounting records are actually very much better this time than when I was here last time. So we do have some management accounts that go up to June 2011 and even monthly management accounts that go up to October 2011, and we will print a summary of those results in the proposals we send to creditors and shareholders, so you'll see exactly what the position is. What is interesting to me is if you look at the Vale numbers all the way through, if it hadn't had to make massive loan repayments, it was profitable throughout. If you look at the accounts that have been filed at Companies House and the more recent management accounts, sometimes there were small profits, sometimes there were small losses, but if you stripped out the interest payments, the club was actually profitable throughout, and I'm convinced can be again, as long as we can find new owners that don't need to borrow £2 million and pay interest on it.
The second question relates back to probably the hot topic about season tickets. I think the asking to people to go and buy season tickets throughout April would be a nice thing, but if you could guarantee us now that no former directors will be allowed to be involved in any bid whatsoever, I'd more than happily pay twice the amount for a season ticket on the Easter Monday.
Right. The season ticket increase is now 100%. This gentleman has said, and if you can't afford it, he'll lend you the balance. In all seriousness, we are officers of the High Court. We cannot bar anybody from bidding. I don't believe they will make a bid, but we can't stop them. It could be that they make a bid and the council don't want to know, that would stop them. If that's the one thing that's worrying you, you will know before the end of April who the bidder is, if there is one. And consequently, you can buy your season ticket rather than Easter Monday, the Monday after you know who the bidder is. Does that cover your problem?
I appreciate what you're saying, but I think the problem you've got, the thing is, I think most people in this room will be concerned that any of the former directors get back. And I know what you're saying, legalities, preferred bid, highest bidder, But if they come back in any form, shape whatsoever, there will be no Port Vale.
I understand that, and I saw the level of feeling, and we'll take that on board. All I can tell you is, as of 8 o'clock tonight, we have had no indication from anybody who's been involved with this club that they are in any way making a bid. That's all I can tell you. What tomorrow holds is another day. You're just going to have to leave it with us to sort out, but I understand what you're saying about the depth of feeling. And I think by now the ex-directors will know that they will not be welcome coming back.
You'd have thought they'd have known that 12 months ago, to be honest with you.
Something in the water. Gentleman here.
There's 2 points I'd like to ask. The first thing is that it was well chronicled as it was the City Council who had put 600,000 into the club to take us into administration and, as I understood it, to take us to the end of the season. If not, I mean, you know, I'd like that one tried down, and I'm a little bit puzzled now if that's the case, why we need another 150,000 off the Football League or the professional football, whatever, to get to that position, and how it's cost such a lot of money.
Right, well, first of all, don't believe everything you read in the newspaper. Sorry, Steve. The council have been enormously supportive, and they have agreed to underwrite a certain amount for the trading costs and a certain amount for our professional fees, which we have limited to take into account the circumstances. In theory, that could go up to, if you add those two numbers together, as high as £600,000. But what we have undertaken with the City Council is that we will try to limit that, because we're very aware that the council taxpayer is currently footing part of the bill for this. The City Council have actually advanced us £200,000, and that, together with your donations, together with the money that we've applied for from the PFA, we hope will fund us for much of the rest of the season. We may have to go back to the council and ask for more, but I've given a personal undertaking to John van der Laarschot that we will limit the amounts that we ask the council for as much as possible. The City Council are in a very, very difficult position here. Not everybody in Stoke, amazingly, is a Port Vale supporter. And there has been some criticism from other parts of the city about the support that the council has shown. And you can imagine people saying, well, why didn't you put this money into libraries, nursing homes, schools, wherever? Now, I won't rise to that one. But the point is, the council have been very supportive. It's actually in the interests, I believe, of the council taxpayer, because by letting us embark on this process, hopefully we will get a bid that will pay a proper going concern price, enable us to repay anything they advance. The purchaser of the club has to pay the football creditors, including the Professional Footballers Association, the PFA, and then there should be a return to the council on account of the money that they've already loaned to the club. So I think that will give them and the council taxpayer a better return than if they just let it go into liquidation.
Yeah, I understand that, Rob, and that was my understanding of it. I'm glad you've done a good job of clearing that one.